Well, there's something you don't see every day. Our dogs in the foreground, 2 sheep in front of them, 3 horses in front of them, and then a seal in the water in front of them and the horses watching the seal. Welcome to living the Skye life, folks.
The Isle of Skye in the Scottish Highlands is one of the most beautiful and visited places in the UK. But why do so many people fall in love with this island, and what's it like to actually live here?
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Willie.
We sold our suburban home and risked it all to live a different pace of life, moving to a 200-year-old cottage in a remote corner of this incredible Scottish island.
Join us and our dogs Jack and Nori as we share what it's really like to take the plunge and live the dream, the highs, the lows, and everything in between.
This week, it's our last day on the beautiful and fascinating Isle of Raasay, and we head north to a location that I've wanted to visit ever since we moved to Skye.
Not only is there a ruined medieval castle to explore, one of Sarah's absolute favourite things to do, but also we put Yolanda, our Land Rover Defender, through her paces on one of the most challenging roads we've ever driven on.
Not only does this road have wild twists, hair-raising turns, sheer drops on both sides, and the most amazing views, it also has an incredible story, featuring the absolute determination and resilience of one bold man named Callum.
If you don't already, please do hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with our weekly adventures. Join us as we continue. Living the Skye life.
Okay, so it's our second morning waking up here on Raasay to probably one of the best views of Skye. We're going to head down to the main building for breakfast because we, yesterday for your birthday, got it delivered to the bothy in a basket, which is quite cute, a little picnic hamper. But we're going to go down and have breakfast in the main restaurant today. We had dinner there twice. If you come in the full season, there's actually another restaurant on Raasay that you can go to and try out. But because we're here off peak, we actually missed it by 1 week. So we had dinner twice in the same place and there was no complaints because it was really good.
Amazing.
I had the same starter as the day before.
Yeah, and I had the same main, because it was amazing. You can't beat it. Can I have it again?
Let's go for breakfast.
Yeah, let's do it.
And then after that, let's go look for a castle, and we're also going to go look for a road.
A special road.
A very exciting special road.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Breakfast time. Half asleep breakfast time.
So there's 5 of these cabins here, which are called Anbothan, which is the bothies. And there's 3 sort of bigger ones and 2 smaller ones. And I think ours is the only one that has its own private sauna, which was pretty amazing. We didn't actually know that before we arrived. So we used that last night after dinner. It was quite nice. A little view out onto the loch. Yeah, pretty cool. They've all got slightly different decor schemes based on the surroundings. So ours is a coastal one, so it's all blues. We haven't seen in any of the other ones, but ours is absolutely beautiful. Hello. The crow agrees. About on Raasay, and despite the forecast saying it was going to stop, as you can probably hear, the rain is pouring down.
That's really loud. You'll probably pick that up really loud on camera.
So we have stopped at a place called Brochel Castle. I'm probably saying that wrong.
Brochel.
And there is a castle, which we're hopefully going to go and see if the rain stops. But we've come here for another reason, because this is also the start of Calum'sroad. And that's probably the most famous thing about Raasay.
Yeah, and you read the book, didn't you?
Yeah, there's a book about this story, and essentially this was the end of the road that the government at the time made. Back in the 60s, this is where the road stopped, and from here it was just a track. The distillery's in the south of the island, that's where the ferry is, and the main sort of town. We've come to the north, and essentially in the 1800s, the south of the island became this kind of sheep grazing and then just deer hunting, rich landowners playground essentially. So all of the island's residents were pushed north into these settlements where the area is really rocky, it's really hard to farm, there was no road, and the local authorities refused to pay for building a road to these communities. And in 1964, this resident called Callum decided to take it into his own hands, and he built about 1.5 miles of road by himself, single-handedly, over 10 years.
With a wheelbarrow and a pickaxe and a shovel,
yeah,
basically.
Like through rock faces, we can see it. It's winding up right through a big rock face at the moment. We were going to walk it, but I think because of the weather, we're going to drive it and we're going to see what the road is like, because it's such an incredible story.
Yeah, we'll give you a bit of the story as we drive the road.
So yeah, let's go for a drive along Callum's Road. Callum MacLeod was born in 1911, and he was brought up in the small settlement of Arnish in the far north of Raasay. In the 1930s, the population of the settlements beyond Brochel Castle was around 400, and they petitioned the local authority many times to extend the public road to their villages, as the only access routes were a rough, narrow footpath or by boat. When these requests were denied, the population of this area began to dwindle, with local amenities such as the school and post office closing over time, as the residents gradually left to start new, easier lives in Skye or on the mainland. One day in 1964, Callum decided that he would take matters into his own hands, and he set out from his croft with a wheelbarrow, a pickaxe and a shovel to meet the public road over 1.5 miles away. And so he began to almost single-handedly build a road across this rugged, craggy landscape, a task that would take up over a decade of his life. If you think this section of the road looks steep on camera, it was even more so in real life. By 1974, Callum had completed his mission, and he was able to drive all the way up to his house in Arnish in his own Land Rover for the very first time. The irony of this was that he couldn't drive any further south than Brochel, as he had never got a driving licence. In 1982, the local council finally adopted the road as part of the public highway, and it was tarmacked, turning it into the road we see today. We can't even imagine how slow and difficult Callum's progress must have been, chipping away at the distance day by day in all weather conditions. This bit is bonkers.
This bit
oh
is
my
serious.
Gosh.
This is serious.
Wow.
I love the colour of the rock, it's all bright red. You see that?
Yeah.
Amazing.
The rock nerd is nerding out
I am, it's beautiful.
about red rock.
Bright red and layered.
This is the most bonkers road I think we've ever driven on.
It's crazy.
We're sort of really close to the edge of the cliff, right up against a rock face of like stripy red and black rocks. There's a beautiful bay down there.
Yolanda
And it's so steep! Oh my gosh! I wouldn't even like to do this in Jinx. Yolanda's loving it. I hope we don't meet anyone else.
Shit, me too.
He had one of those.
Yeah, you did. Arnish.
Here we are. This is the end. This is it. Wow. End of public road. We made it.
To the top of Callum's Road.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it was hard to drive here. I don't know how on earth he made that himself.
Oh my gosh, that wasn't it. Yeah, it wasn't a straight line. It wasn't even flat. It was up and down, round.
Yeah. Cliff edges.
Cliff edges.
And no barriers.
All those rocks to come through. Like, the difference in landscape between here and the south bit, where the distillery is crazy. The south is so flat and green, lots of fields, and this is just rocks and hills and cliffs. It's insanely beautiful, but I can't imagine how difficult it would have been to live here as a crofter.
Yeah. Amazing.
Let alone having to build your own road. We actually thought we must have gone past where he'd finished because it was taking so long, but we just had to drive so slowly.
We were in first gear most of the way in Yolanda, the Land Rover Defender. I wouldn't like to come up here in a Mini or something like that.
No, if we'd still had my old car Ziggy, the Celerio, no chance. We would never have got this far. We would have had to be rescued. If anyone is coming to Raasay, bring a four-wheel drive if you're going to drive that road.
And definitely don't come here in winter. You would never get here in winter.
Oh my gosh. Crazy. That is absolutely amazing what he did.
What a guy.
We've got to drive it all again now and hopefully get back to the castle. Maybe the rain will stop. Seems unlikely at this point, but we've got lots of waterproofs.
We have, yeah.
Someone is very put out that we are not getting out of the car for a walk. I'm sorry, Bubbas. We're gonna try. We're gonna try. We just stopped here above this really beautiful little bay, and that's because there's a dry stone wall here which was the boundary between the laird's land that he used for grazing and for game and the land to the north of the island that most of the population had to live in. And he just built a wall across the island to keep them in their place, essentially. It's a really quite brutal history here, really. It happened all over the Highlands, obviously, but here on Raasay, the laird actually at one point decreed that no one could get married because he didn't want the population of the islanders growing anymore. So no one could get married without his permission, and he wouldn't give it. And if you did get married without his permission, he'd kick you out of your croft and you wouldn't be able to get harbour with anyone else. So basically you lost your life, your livelihood and everything if you wanted to get married, which is just, it's insane. It's horrible.
Yeah. It's such a shame that it's got such a horrible, that part of its history, because it's such a beautiful place. And it is a lovely place to come and visit. So, don't let that sort of stuff put you off. It must be remembered. It must be remembered. But it shouldn't, it shouldn't tarnish a place for the, till the end of time, I don't think.
I think it has a really amazing community now. Everyone in the distillery, all of them live here, and lots of them actually grew up here on the island. So there's obviously the same people that were doing that back in the 1800s are not the same people that own it now.
No.
So it's lost that kind of...
Yeah,
that's part of the history, and it's important that people learn about it.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. It's so important everyone knows about it. There is light after the darkness of the place.
I don't think there's many places in the world that don't have a bit of dark history.
Oh no, I know, for sure.
That's what that wall means, which is quite a stark reminder, but at least today we get to go past it.
Yeah.
The book Callum's Road is really good, and I highly recommend reading it for the full incredible story of Callum's life. However, I never fully appreciated his achievement until we drove along the road itself. Today, the road stands as a testament to one man's determination, resilience, and maybe a little bit of stubbornness too.
So this is the memorial cairn that's just by the side of the road, and this is to commemorate the achievement that Callum made building this road. It wasn't until the 1980s that it was made into a properly tarmacked road. Apparently, they didn't have to change any of the route or the width. He'd done it to the perfect highway code standard, which is pretty impressive, on top of everything else. But by that point, it was only Callum and his wife that were actually living in Arnish, that community that he built the road to. So the road kind of came too late to save that community at that time. So that is a bit sad, but it doesn't change the scale of his achievement. And I think it's such an amazing story about island life and just the resilience that people living here had. So yeah, I think he deserves this cairn.
Searching the beach, the river and loch, looking for rocks to polish right up. Back from the river, rapping in silver, that's Skye Rocks!
Hiya. Were you a good boy? Yes. We went out and found these, didn't we, Jack? Yes, we did. Yesterday. Is Daddy going to cut them today? Yes, he is. He's going to cut them today.
Here are some of the stones that Jack and I found, and here's a few shots of me cutting them into cabochons for my pendants. Just a heads up that we're now very close to the cut-off point for international postage in time for Christmas. So if you aren't in the UK and you'd like to buy any of these pendants, it's time to make your move now. The final order date for international orders to arrive in time for Christmas is Thursday the 4th of December, so the day after this video comes out. Any international orders placed after that date are not guaranteed to arrive in time for Christmas. My pendants are currently selling quicker than I can make them, but I will list them on Sarah's Etsy shop as I go along. Thanks to everyone that's already purchased any of my jewellery or Sarah's prints, calendars and cards. Your support means a great deal to us. On the northeastern shore of Raasay lies the ruin of Brochel Castle, perched dramatically atop a volcanic plug of natural rock at about 15 metres in height. The castle was probably built in the 1400s by Callum, Raasay's first MacLeod chief, who inherited the lands of Raasay and Rona from his father, Callum MacLeod, the 9th chief of Lewis. Below the castle is a natural harbour, a sheltered bay that allowed boats to be pulled up on the shoreline, a very handy strategic place for the MacLeods to control their mainland possessions such as Trotternish, Vatternish and Assynt. Now if you've been following our channel for a while, you will know that Sarah loves castles and exploring them. So folks, let's do just that. We've just wandered down to the beach just below the castle, and it's really, really lovely. There's nobody here, of course, and it's a shingle beach, and the dogs are loving it because there are no sheep, so they're off their leads for a little while, which is always lovely. There's a sort of shed there. I don't know if it's like a holiday cottage or I don't know what it is. It seems to have a stove with a chimney. Yeah, this is really nice down here, eh? Lovely stone beach.
I love the sound.
Yeah, the sound's amazing. It's cool. Rockhounding. Nothing down, nothing Sybil.
The rocks on this beach look fake. Like, they just look too perfect and red and smooth. It's bizarre, I can't really describe it. It just doesn't seem real. I can listen to that noise all day. I love that sound of sea-worn rocks rubbing against each other. It's so cool, it's beautiful here. I think there's some seals over there as well.
Being the rock nerd that I am, I've just looked online and found that there is no SSSI here, so if I do find any pebbles that are quite nice, I can actually take them and make them into some pendants or some jewellery. which is cool. I didn't know that, so I'm just having a look around now. Just keep your eyes to the ground, see what you can find. Oh, there's one. Yoo-hoo! Look at that. It's pink on one side and dark on the other. It's a bit of a belter. I'll keep looking.
This seems like a good spot for second breakfast, courtesy of the distillery breakfast. Thanks, guys. Second breakfast at a ruined castle. What more could a hobbit want?
Some absolutely beautiful stones here. Look at this one. Woo! Definitely a keeper. I'm glad I brought my rucksack now. I didn't actually know this beach was here, so this is a real bonus. I'm really excited for this. Find some really nice pebbles here. It's an interesting one.
It's turned out beautiful now. A very cool castle. Slight shame about the warehouse on the beach below it, but
Yeah, I know.
it is what it is. It's what you get. Island life.
Well, they'll need it, won't they?
Yeah.
They're very handy.
Willie's picked up lots of rocks.
Ah, they're in my rucksack now.
Obviously it's worn away a lot over time, but that's quite a precarious castle.
Come on, pal. There's a good boy. Come on then. Up we go. Up we go. It was time to leave, but not just the castle, the Isle of Raasay. Time to head to the ferry port and back to the Isle of Skye.
Well, we're back at the harbour and we're just waiting in the ferry queue now to head back on the 2:30 ferry. It's about a 20-25 minute trip back across to Skye. The rain came in just as we were leaving Brochel Castle, so yeah, definitely timed it well. Even if the weather does look a bit rubbish when you're going out on Skye or in the Highlands anywhere, you'll usually get a little window. So we were very lucky. And now it's all misty murky for heading back to Skye.
Misty? Funny that, eh?
Yeah, the misty isle. So that's us on the ferry, heading back to Skye. And it's weird to think that we'll be home in less than an hour.
Yeah, it feels like we're really, really far away, but we're not.
Yeah.
Or I suppose we are, depending on your perspective.
Feels like a completely different place on Raasay. It's just a very different vibe to Skye.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yep. I loved it.
And yeah, we've had a really good time.
Yep.
And yeah, we don't have like a 6-hour drive home, which is quite nice.
No. Because if we lived in Fife still, we'd
That'll
get
be a
this
long
ferry,
way.
and then we'd have to go all the way down to the south of Skye, across the bridge, blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. But we don't. But we do have to go to Fife actually in a couple of days.
Yeah, not long, but that's for another day, another video.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. That's our trip to Raasay. I'm
know,
sure
right?
it won't be the last.
Definitely not. I loved it.
Bong, bong. As always, folks, thank you so much for watching our video. We really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please do leave us a like, a hype, a comment, or subscribe to our channel if you don't already. It's free to do, helps our channel to grow, and you get notified when our new videos come out, which is every week, Wednesday night, 8 PM UK time.
You know that rain?
I do hear that rain.
It's pouring down out
Apologies from Raasay.
Yeah, it's worse. If you did enjoy the video and you'd like to help the channel further, you can do so over on Ko-fi by buying us a coffee, or the dogs will be treated. What I really mean is, you help with the running costs of making these videos for you every week.
Or if you want to help us out more long term, you can join our amazing community over on Patreon, where you get bonus content for helping us out each month.
If you're interested in our creative endeavours, you can go for Sarah's Etsy store for artworks and pendants. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've got an apron on now. I'm taking it really seriously.
And as we said earlier, it is the last chance for anyone ordering outside of the UK to get there, hopefully in time for Christmas.
If you want to get involved in any of this stuff, go over here to Sarah's Etsy store.
Or for Willie's original music that features in all of our videos, you can head across to his Bandcamp page for songs like these.
These old walls saw 100 lights, from the days of old to these days of mine. I don't mind if the storm hits the night. There's no reason to go outside.
As always, all the links to our pages are in the video description.
Hello, thanks again for watching, and we will see you next week if we don't get washed away by all this rain. Bye, folks.
We're leaving our suburban life, moving over the sea to Skye. Are we chasing a dream? I guess in time we will see, when we're living the Skye life. Living the Skye life.
I'm kind of sleepy. Go for a nap after this, I think. Like you do all the work.
Again.
We had dinner there. Dinner there? We had dinner there.
Which is every week. Damn it.
Oh my gosh. Why did we do this on a hill?
I've got a proper apron instead of just getting my clothes splattered and stuff.
Well, that's us on the ferry. Heading back to Skye.
We were just eating pork pie, so I was licking my lips. We'll do that again.
And as we said, it's the last chance for anyone ordering from international locations.
I think my eye's got something weird going on. I think it's like a hair or something. I'll breathe it. Let's go.
You'll be fine.
My die.
If you do it on camera, at least it'll be dramatic.
Oh, yeah. Get a few views.
Please don't.
People love drama.
Don't drink it, Nori. Stupid.
If we don't get washed away by all this rain.
Yeah, and you don't die.
Or, yeah, with an eyelash in my eye.
Bye, folks. That was a weird way to end it.
Well, you know.
Click here to subscribe to live in the Skye life.
Click here to go back to the start of our adventures with our very first episode.